And we have spawning in the top right position as the orange Terran player representing Team AG here at the DreamHack Summer Tournament 2013. GLHF's all-round coming out from MOiLANEN. And his opponent spawning in the bottom left-hand position of NeoPlanet S, beating Naniwa on the main stream before coming to play here, representing Team MyInsanity, their newest pickup. Can he complete the 2-0 sweep? He's looking strong so far. It is StarDust.
So I think that's a really important thing to say. Anyone just joining us now, of course, StarDust beating Naniwa means that he's actually in line to finish top of his group. That's going to be really important for the seeding going into tomorrow. But for the time being, it's not all done. MOiLANEN could potentially mix things up a bit. We've got to wait and see what he can do. For the moment, he's just going to be chucking down a barracks very normally. Nothing crazy is occurring quite yet. Meanwhile, for StarDust, he's, well, got his gateway coming down, everything looking perfectly fine there. So neither player proxying anything quite yet. But as you said, loading in, NeoPlanet S is one of these maps where early aggression, and specifically two base plays actually, can be incredibly potent.
Holding third bases can be rather annoying, especially in the early game here on this map. There are also no watchtowers to conveniently spot lots and lots of map awareness at the same time. So proxies can be quite popular on this map too. And that's not to say that the players have to go for any sort of early game aggression, but it's certainly a map where if they choose, the options are out there, and they're arguably better on this map than a lot of other maps in the map pool.
I'd agree with you there. So, for the moment, these two both just playing very passively. This probe staying in the main base, notice, just going to harass the SCV line. All he wants to do is confirm exactly what's coming. He doesn't want to get caught off guard once more by some really early aggression.
Exactly.
He's going to see that the SCV, or doesn't actually check that the SCV is there, so not going to be able to confirm that the command center is going down. But there we go, probe coming back.
Oh, that was the most anticlimactic timing ever. He literally saw a sliver where the command center was, turned around, and the very moment he turned around, the SCV put it down.
It's still not going to be able to see.
Oh, so close. So that means StarDust cannot absolutely eliminate that this is going to be a one-base play from MOiLANEN again.
And that's a problem for him, because if you can't pin down what your opponent's doing, or what you've got that question mark of whether he's about to try and kill you, you're not going to be able to commit. Ideally, StarDust, if he saw that command center down, he would know that he was relatively safe from aggression for the near future.
Yeah.
He could either really tech up himself, expand himself, or he could likewise go for a big one-base push if he wanted to. But now he's got to be questioning what's going on. Still not going to be able to get in. And of course, seeing this bunker come down is a stronger hint that there's the expansion there, but it's still no guarantee.
Well, last game we didn't see an early bunker coming down from him as well, and it looks like, oh, very, very nice. Okay, so StarDust, possibly anticipating that it is in fact an expansion here, has gone immediately for the Twilight Council on the right-hand side of his base, and this SCV is going to come in, and he is going to be able to see most of inside the main, but doesn't scout the right-hand side. So this Twilight Council could be to hide a Dark Shrine, but bear in mind that with this choke point, and with just the distance you have to go around here to defend, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw some sort of blink play, like Mothership Cores and Stalkers love blinking up to around this area of the base and wreaking havoc in the main. But it is going to be a Dark Shrine on this particular occasion, right next to the Twilight Council there. So choosing the slightly sneakier of the two options.
It is slightly sneakier. It takes quite a long time to get down there. And of course, the one thing that MOiLANEN has seen is that, well, there's nothing really down there. There was no Nexus up when he came in, so he's always going to be a little bit of suspicion of what could be on the cards. So StarDust is taking a bit of a risk here. He's got to make it work, but it's not all in, because he's got his natural coming down. But to justify this working after his opponent's expansion was so quickly taken, he's got to deal a decent amount of worker damage.
Well, worker damage is something that neither player is really putting a lot on at the moment, to be perfectly frank. StarDust has a couple of Stalkers here just trying to stop SCVs from getting out of the main base, which I really like. We have a scan, and oh, look at the boundaries of the scan. He sees the Nexus, he sees the Sentry, and he doesn't see, once again, the Twilight Council and the Dark Shrine.
And this is one of those problems, because if you don't scout it down, then if you see that natural, you're going to be sitting there thinking to yourself very comfortably, hey, he's expanding, I'm safe. No missile turret's going to come down, no really early defenses. There is the engineering bay already finished, so there is the option for it. And oh, there is a missile turret being made. This is such... Where is it? It's right at the back of the middle one. Okay, so The DT will be able to come in towards the main. Is there energy for scans? Not at the natural base. The DT already making its way forward, but there's a missile turret there in the mineral line. That is so good, and that means that, of course, with the detection at the mineral lines, no economic damage is really going to get done here other than lost mining time.
Ooh, picking off the mule first with the DT there. I like it. And 2 DTs now trying to go at it at the bunker. Still no... Oh, we have 1 scan now available. Just 1, and the bunker is going to get taken out. It looks like one of the DTs has bitten the dust there. The second one going to be heading up into the main base. Hellbat getting picked off as well. And is that DT going to escape the range of the scan? I think it is, and MOiLANEN at the moment is not having a good time. He did manage to get a missile turret down inside the main base, so he does spot the DT coming in, but that's of little consolation at the moment. He has burned a scan and unable to kill that DT. Oh, 4 SCVs killed and counting, and now he goes just outside of range of that missile turret. So he's going to have to use another scan.
Yeah, not just in range of that missile turret. Just in range. That was a very unfortunate DT, but yeah, bunker being placed further back now. Behind this StarDust, he's got his robotics facility up, he's pumping out those immortals, he's got the double forward, so he's starting double upgrades, as we can see now, but I'd say... What's the work account looking like at the moment, JoRoSaR?
The work account is 43 to 35 in favor of StarDust, and the overall supplies are more or less even. But MOiLANEN has spent considerably more on static defense. He has lost the bunker. He was building those missile turrets, especially that one up there, and he has lost a couple of workers as well. So StarDust looking a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, he's got things going the way that he really wanted. That he's taking up behind. He didn't commit massively to the DTs either, because the important thing is that he just went in with 2 of them, harassed quite nicely, wasted some mining time, but this hallucinated Phoenix is going to get confirmation of anything coming in. But here's the Hellbat drop, something that you never really want to see, but the Stalkers and very quick reaction from StarDust means he's going to take minimal damage from that.
Oh, I like how he angled the medevac directly over the Nexus to try and stop the Stalkers from doing as much damage as they could. But, a couple of force fields being forced out there to prevent the sentries from going down. But other than that, no losses from StarDust. So really well defended against that Hellbat drop.
And StarDust, he is slowly getting a small supply lead, but it's nothing massive for the time being. Remember, the natural base for the Terran was out considerably sooner.
Yeah.
And so he had the mule down, he had the additional SCV production, which is always going to be helpful. Upgrade-wise, this is where StarDust is really going to start pulling ahead. He's got double upgrades, which he can chrono boost, and they're nearly already done. 1-1. 2-2 can start up straight away because the Twilight counters there, and mass gateways are getting made. This is shaping up to be a very, very strong push, and something that MOiLANEN could struggle to hold.
That's right. We have the upgrades about done, like you said, going up to 6 gateways now in total. So that could be very, very strong. There are a couple of immortals in the army composition as well. So looking forward to seeing what kind of unit mix StarDust is going to move out with, because he's definitely planning to move out. He doesn't have a forward pilot out on the map just yet, though, so needs to send a couple of probes out to put them down.
This Hellbat drop, though, is heading towards the main. 1 probe there is on its way forward to go and place that proxy pylon, just as you said. 2-2 upgrades have got started, interestingly, for StarDust, so probably not going to try and move out until they're completed. But in comes the Hellbat drop. Photon cannon is in the mineral line, but still a lot of probes can die very quickly, especially if they clump up like that. But luckily, StarDust taking minimal losses there.
Yeah, I think a technique that a lot of Terrans have to do these days, which we haven't seen so far in this game by MOiLANEN, is one where you don't use the boost on the medevac heading into the base. You drop, and they do the first round of damage against the workers, and then immediately get picked up by the medevac and boosted to the line of workers where they're being moved away, and that's really where you get the worker kills. So we've been seeing more and more Terrans do that as of late, but not in this particular game so far. Is the pylon scouted only just out of vision there? So StarDust looking to ramp up the aggression. This actually gets delayed quite a lot if that pylon gets taken down. And does the SCV spot it? He does now.
Okay, so he knows the pylon's there. The warpin's already on their way. It Ghost Academy coming down. So when and if those High Templar are needed, that could be a problem. But in it comes the push. The Archon in the back trying to do some more damage. The second Immortals are on their way through too. But there's just so many Hellbats, so many Marines. MOiLANEN actually doing an okay job of holding this for the time being. Yeah,
this it wasn't quite the engagement that StarDust wanted. He wanted to get another round of Warpins and make sure all the Archons were ready and the Immortals are absolutely stellar. But MOiLANEN now, he's on the back foot a little bit just because of the DPS from those Archons doing so much. He hasn't targeted them down. He hasn't targeted the Immortals down either. So this splash damage really tearing his army apart here. And I think that might be enough for StarDust to go through and win the game. MOiLANEN pulling SCVs just now as well, and quite a lot of them going down. He might hold, but StarDust at the moment, he's going to be able to continuously warp in, and the work count is 46 to 33.
Yeah, he should just be able to hold this off. But it will be very, very close. And of course, 2-2 is also now done for StarDust as well. So upgrade-wise, he's in a brilliant spot. He's got those high Templar warping, and he's going to go for some more Archons because he hasn't researched Storm. And with that, he's still got a sizable chunk, but they are going to get caught a little bit out of position here. Or not. Or we're just going to see this Heron run straight past them. But now this just means that the Templar is blocked between his third and his natural.
Yeah, this gives a possible opportunity here for StarDust to regroup, and those two Archons are going to be able to do a very, very healthy amount of damage indeed. Good kiting up the ramp there, but once again, the Archon's just doing so much splash damage. I think running past that pile might not have been the greatest idea as well. And look, we even see him retreating with those medevacs. He knows he can't take on this army right now. It's a close fight, but this time MOiLANEN would lose it. And now the momentum's seriously swinging in StarDust's favor. The third orbital command has been lifted up. He's now moving into the natural with a whole bunch of zealots.
This is a scary looking push here. The Archons are just going to help so much with the damage. The medevac count not particularly high. This is StarDust trying to end this game out, and he's putting on such relentless pressure. More warpings are coming down too. The infantry is slowly dwindling in numbers, and things looking really solid for the Mind Sanity player.
That's right, and well, SCV is being pulled from the natural into the main as well because these zealots are just doing way too much. GG, and StarDust takes the series 2-0.